Welcome back to another episode of the Energetic Shift podcast. And today we are talking about money. I want to have a brutally honest conversation about money because I think a lot of people think that they want more money until more money starts getting close to them. And I don't mean like in a cute motivational quote way. I mean in a way that like heart racing, overthinking, self-sabotaging, suddenly wanting to burn your business to the ground kind of way. Because money is deeply emotional, and most people are trying to grow their income while their nervous system is having a full on meltdown behind the scenes. Like it is screaming, this does not feel safe. And we know that the nervous system is just here to keep us safe. The nervous system's safety is created from familiarity, right? So we understand this and we know this. And if you are somebody that's never had money and you've never had the amounts of income coming in that you're now potentially on your way to receiving or already receiving, there's no wonder your nervous system is screaming. There's no wonder your nervous system is not feeling safe with this. And I see this all the time in women in business. They'll say like, I want consistent 10K months. I want I want to go full time, which means I need to earn X amount of pounds. I want more clients. I want to sell out my offers. I want to be a millionaire, right? But when those opportunities appear for you to become a millionaire, to earn 10K months, to quit your job, all of a sudden you start acting very differently. All of a sudden you stop taking the action that will lead you to achieving those goals. Like you don't post the offer. You don't ask for the sale. You delay launching. You suddenly need another qualification, so you sign up for another course or you lower the price. You overthink the caption, you stop showing up, you convince yourself now is probably not the right time. And on the surface, it looks like lack of confidence or you need a new strategy or lack of consistency. But actually, what's happening underneath is usually this level of money doesn't feel normal to me. Your nervous system will always try and pull you back to what feels familiar. And even if familiar is stressful, familiar is under earning, familiar is living month to month, your body remembers things that your brain forgets. And I think people massively underestimate how much childhood shapes their relationship with money. And not just what was said about money, but what was felt around money. So, did money create arguments in your family between your parents, for example? Did it create stress or instability or shame? Did you hear things growing up like money doesn't grow on trees, rich people are greedy, we can't afford that? People like us don't earn money or have money because your brain absorbs all of that before you even realize it. And then years later, you're sat there wondering why receiving more money makes you feel uncomfortable. Because if you're hearing things like that in the midst of an emotional reaction, then that's going to be remembered by your body. I remember years ago when I first started to make decent amount of money, and I come from a council estate background, so money didn't grow on trees for us. As we, that was the one of the biggest sayings: money doesn't grow on trees, people like us don't earn money like that. I remember feeling genuinely guilty for buying things, like guilty resting, guilty earning more money than the people around me, over taking financially the people that I'd spent all of my life with, family, friends, guilty, and just more in general. And nobody really talks about that side of expansion when you're leaving other people around, when everybody loves the manifestation side online, but like the millionaire energy and all of that sort of stuff. But do we really go deep into the moment that your identity starts outgrowing what feels familiar? And to me, this bit is the wild part, right? Like most people don't consciously sabotage themselves. Like we don't get up in the morning and be like, right, I'm going to sabotage myself today, or I know what I'm going to do today. I'm not going to move forward with this because this is how I'm feeling. It's really subtle and subconscious. And you'll say you want more money, but you avoid talking about your offers. You'll say that you want growth, but hide every time your content gains any traction. Like you don't post for 3 more days, or 3 more weeks even. You'll say you want high paying clients, but panic every time you increase your prices. You'll say you want more visibility and then suddenly become completely exhausted and your energy is not great. So you must listen to your body and sit back. Honestly, this happens all of the time. And I have been guilty of this, right? I have been guilty of being that woman that's like, I'm just listening to my body. I'm going to have a rest, blah, blah, blah. And there's a difference. There's a difference between being lazy and resting when it's actually really aligned to rest and do so. One of the biggest signs that money feels unsafe for you is this: start going well. So you'll start picking up and you'll start making more money, and then suddenly you pull the foot off the pedal. And it's a self-sabotage moment, right? Like sometimes you can become aware of it very quickly. Sometimes takes a day. It takes a time for you to really look back and be like, oh my God, I saw what I did there. Or it takes your coach or mentor, somebody that you're working with, to be like, Danielle, do you know what you're doing right there? You stop posting. You stop selling. You start doubting yourself. You create drama. You overcomplicate everything because your nervous system is trying so damn fucking hard to bring you back to what it already knows, what your body knows, what you feel safe in. £10,000 are not safe for us because we don't know what that feels like. We've never had that before. It's unfamiliar. It's probably the reason why I don't believe in fully in going from like zero to hero sort of thing. So like, or from like zero to £10,000 months, or going massive super quick, and especially because I come from that background of like I've had to really train my nervous system into feeling safer in growing and in evolving and in doing new things. Throwing ourselves into big stretches and stretching ourselves really big just for the sake of it doesn't really work, because you can do it and it'll work and you'll get to the point where you're okay, yeah, I've earned a 10k month, but then like within 3 months you're back down to 2k, right? Because your nervous system is like, whoop, no, that was too unsafe being there, let's come back down. You can literally outdo a nervous system, but not for very long. You'll then hit burnout. You'll then hit, a pit or a drop in your income or your business or whatever it is. Or a client will leave you, a big contract will fall through. There's so many things that will happen. Your nervous system doesn't feel safe. And so your body will fight what you're trying to do and what you're trying to outrun the whole way. So that's why some people will make money and then lose it. Hit a big month and then disappear for 3. Expansion works best when your nervous system can actually hold what happens when you get there. And holding more money is an identity shift. You've got to work with your nervous system. You've got to train your nervous system. You've got to help your nervous system shift. You've got to help your capacity shift. That's what holding more money is. When you hold more money, you have that identity shift, you have that nervous system shift, and you have that capacity shift. So instead of trying to leap from where you are right now to some wildly unrealistic for your body to be able to get its head around, or its feelings around, its nervous system around overnight, you need to ask yourself this: what actually feels safe for me right now? And it won't be your dream income, right? It's probably not going to be your dream income or the number that you think sounds impressive to share online as the big goal that you've hit. I want you to ask yourself what genuinely feels believable for you. What amount feels like, oh, okay, that stretches me slightly, but actually I can still hold that. So when you think about this figure, this number, if it makes you go, fuck that, shit, no way, I can't even imagine what that would feel like, look like, or yeah, no, not for me, then that's a no. Like, let's not try to jump for that. Let's go with, let's say you're at 2k now, right? You're in 2k months or 5k months, and you want to stretch, right? Let's just throw an extra £1,000 on that. Like, what would it feel like to earn an extra £1,000 next month than I'm earning right now? Ooh, okay. You might go into the whole, I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't know where it's going to come from. So it feels slightly scary. Feels slightly like, how is that going to happen? Our logical brain will kick in. But I want you to really concentrate on your body. So get out of your head and into your body and be like, how does that feel in my body? Does it feel like I could actually, yeah, that would feel nice to have that extra £1,000. Well, yeah, that would actually feel really good. And I could feel myself, I could imagine myself really holding that extra £1,000. That would feel fucking good for me. Your body's already spent it. If that feels good for you, that's where we need to be, because that is where the real expansion happens, when you can really imagine it and you can really feel it, not in the panic, not in the stress, not in the survival mode of like, I'm just gonna fucking push for it anyway, like, let's woo manifestation. We don't want to go into that. We don't want to try and force ourselves into a level that our body doesn't feel safe with yet. It's about steps towards that. So some practical examples for you could be this, right? So maybe your stretch right now is putting your price up from, by 50 quid. So instead of £500, we're just going to put it up 50 quid. Or per month, it's like, instead of £5,000, we're putting it up by 1,000, right? Actually posting the offer instead of just talking about posting it. So if you're putting your prices up, for example, and let's say you charge £200 per workshop or session that you do, right? And you want to put your prices up. Let's not put them up to £400. Let's put them up by 25 quid or by 50 quid, right? Let's feel into that. And this is really get to play about with money. It's your business. You can change it again next month, right? I would rather, and I teach pricing so very different to most business coaches, for the simple fact that your nervous system has to hold it. Your nervous system has to be behind it. Otherwise, you won't talk about it. You won't share your offer. You won't share with your audience. You won't ask for the sale if you don't believe, if you feel unsafe in asking for that amount of money, if you don't believe you can have it, right? So what I teach is, even if I believe that you are so undervaluing yourself, as in like you can charge so much more than that, even if I know that people will pay it and you can charge more for it, I'm not selling your offers for you. You are selling your offers. And if you don't feel safe to ask for the money for those offers, you're not going to sell them. You're not going to post a post. You're not going to send the message. You're not going to design the sales page, send the sales page out there. You're not going to tell anybody about it. You're not going to invite people to have a look without apologizing for it being too much. So we work on the tiny shifts first. We work on putting your price up this month by an extra certain amount of money, an extra figure, so that you feel safe in doing that. And then we'll talk about it again in another month or two and be like, okay, can we put it up again? And then before you know it, that way you actually put your price up and start achieving the price that you want to achieve far quicker than you believe you will. Every time you expand safely, your nervous system learns, oh, this is the new level now. This is the new safe now. I've had this. I've got the evidence. I feel this is okay. We can hold this. We're okay here. And over time, your comfort zone changes. The things that once felt terrifying to you become normal, right? And easy. And you don't even think about it. You don't even feel it anymore. So then, that's also an indication that, okay, can we stretch again? If it becomes normal and it's like, yeah, there's no problem, I can ask for that, and I don't feel anything other than like, yeah, it's happening. Like, people are going to pay it. It's not a problem. I think one of the most powerful things you can do in your business is stop judging yourself for where your nervous system is currently at. Like, most people aren't lacking in that, drive or ambition to move forward. They're just trying to build huge levels of success on top of old conditioning that still associates money with pressure, guilt, instability, fear, arguments, emotional like turmoil. So if you take anything from this episode, I want you to let it be this, right? You don't need to force yourself into expansion. You need to build safety around receiving more. So I'm going to say that again. You don't need to force yourself into expanding or expansion. You need to feel safety around receiving more. And maybe today your only job is to stretch your comfort zone slightly, raise the price a little bit, sell the thing, invite people in, take up a little bit more space, build up that evidence in your body, in your nervous system, that actually this feels okay. And, I can prove to my nervous system that this is okay. This feels good and feels safe. And we create that familiarity in our body, teaching your system that more gets to feel safe now. So if you've taken anything from this episode, I would love for you to come and chat with me on the Danielle Hobson at Instagram. And if you're currently navigating this weird space between wanting more money and feeling terrified at the same time, then this is the exact work that I do inside of the Aligned Business School. And in there, we've got all the money course. We've got the Aligned Business School course, like the signature course. We've got the Energetic Blueprint course in there, and you have an array of experts to help you in all areas on hand. And you've also got myself to have monthly coaching so that we can implement and we can double down and we can go deeper, and you can have your questions answered, and we can work through anything that comes up for you. Okay, so come into my inbox. I'll put the link below in the show notes for the Aligned Business School so you can have a little look. But any questions, come and see me over on Instagram. For now, my loves, have a lovely rest of your day, whatever you're doing, and I will see you in the next episode.